Good evening, viewers. This is Nigerian News Center. In a recent developments, in a breaking news, the organized labor have declared an indefinite strike starting from 3rd of June 2024. And the reason is not far-fetched. Recall that the labor and the organized labor and federal government have been negotiating for new minimum wage. At the point, the federal government offered to pay for the 8,000. It was rejected by organized labor. They have since insisted that they need 615,000. And as at the last count, the federal government increased what they are willing to pay to 60,000. Though labor have since reduced their own negotiation, or rather the amount they are willing to collect. But it seems as if labor is saying that federal government is not taking them serious. As such, they are embarking on indefinite strike starting from 3rd of June 2024. Mr. Chinedu Michael, I know you are a renowned political analyst. Help us understand what this means for Nigerian economy that is struggling.
Of course, it's a damaging one from both the labor and the federal government for having not been able to get to a point of a proper dialogue and agreement on the way forward. But if you look at it very well, you find out that the Nigerian Labour Congress has actually, to an extent, lost the confidence of most Nigerians, especially under this present one called Ajero, or whatever they call him. You know, his style of leading Nigerian Labour Congress is quite confusing to so many Nigerians because of the way he does his things. Nigeria will not be able to be part of what they are trying to do at this point in time, because every home, every community, every family now, you know, there is a serious war going on, and that war is not far-fetched. It is purely an economic war. You know, if I tell you the level of things that are happening in different families as a result of the action of the Nigerian Labour Congress and the federal government towards Nigerian economy, you know, there shouldn't be any reason or any sense in this regard, you know, trying to compound the already dying Nigerian economy with strike. I think these people should at least respect Nigerians. Is it because Nigerians most times want to play, you know, I understand it's going to be well. They push everything to God and in prayers, and that is why they take this kind of actions not to be very serious. If I were the federal government too, I shouldn't take Nigerian Labour Congress very serious, because at this point we don't need this kind of type of labor movement, you know, to be able to protect Nigerians from the harsh policies of the federal government, because they have not actually done well in that regard.
Now, I know you have talked about the leadership style of NLC president, that's Joe Ajero himself, but this time around we are looking at welfare of the workers. Don't you think he's justified to fight for the welfare of his members, not the generality of Nigerians this time around?
No, let me just tell you, there's no how you are going to talk about the increment of over 60,000 naira or thereabout without having, you know, a kind of inflation to worry about, you know. And once that is done, of course, definitely we can be buying a loaf of bread for 5,000 or 10,000 naira, you know. But for me, in honesty, all these things they are doing is just trash, you know. I expected that the Nigerian Labour Congress, to an extent, including the TUC, to an extent, to take a proper stand to put Nigerian government in check. What is the essence of paying 100,000, 200,000? At the end of the day, the money has no value. The naira has collapsed to the point that we are being tagged the worst performing currency in the world. Naira currently now.
But why are you particularly against the leadership of Ajero, his style of leadership?
No, you see, for me, I am against it because the last time he was trying to organize a kind of protest to put the government in check. You know, Nigerians were warming up at the end of the day. We don't even know when the strike was called off. On three occasions like that.
I was to remind you the issue of NLC, the political wing of NLC claiming ownership of Labour Party. I thought that is part of your reasons.
No, that is not part of my reason. Away from that, anybody can own any political party. Anybody, even a national union can decide to have political party tomorrow. Anybody can sit down and say they want to have a political party, But that is not the issue. We are looking at, Nigerian Labour Congress and what they stand for. We are looking at TUC and what they stand for. So, what is it actually? Is it not to protect Nigerians, not only their workers?
So even if they are to protect Nigerians, I think the interest of their members is paramount. This time around, they're talking about the welfare of their members as it relates to their salary.
That's what I'm saying. When you talk about welfare of their members, are you not thinking that everything now will be tailored towards that money, and federal government, everything is going to go up, and before you know it, kind of what did the Bible, how would I put it, canker we eat that 60,000 naira within 1 day, 2 days. The kind of policies, the kind of inflation that will go with it is what we are looking at. And once there's an increase, irrespective it's about the welfare of labor workers or whatever, it still have a direct effect on other people in the country. That has nothing to do with Nigerian labor.
Okay, now let's look at it from this angle. I may agree with you that the 650,000 they ask for ab initio may lead to inflation, and we equally have to agree that 60,000 with Nigerian current economic situation is grossly inadequate for a family of 6. Like Labour, we always want to use that size of family member to do their analysis. Now, how do we strike the balance so that we don't have a situation where inflation becomes an issue, and so that we have a situation where their welfare is taken care of?
That's a very important question, and that is where I expected the Nigerian media to actually focus on. How do we stop this kind of a thing from raising its head often and on? How do we correct the issue of ASU strike? How do we handle the issue of electricity? What do we do, to make sure that, at least the economy is actually steaming, in favor of Nigerians? That should be the most important thing. Everybody should sacrifice their knowledge, their intellect, their everything about them. All hands should be on them to see, okay, this is the direction we are going to go. As long as the government in power is ready, to push and accommodate and tolerate and endorse policies, that will see a situation whereby labor will not be coming up often and on with increase and order. Does it happen in America? Does it happen in a civilized world where often and on workers are demanding because of bad government, because of bad policies, because of threatening economic conditions? You understand? So the fact, I still say it, the fact is this, I think the labor should have been somehow in a position, to submit a blueprint and insist, or they shut the country down. Why is it every day, tomorrow now, at the end of the year now, before you know, they will say the 60,000 naira is inadequate, and before you know it, protest, labor. Are you shutting it's purely, can't we solve this situation once and for all? And it's very simple. I've said it's very simple. It's, when we talk about the economic team, not these people that we don't talk belefulo. All these people, we don't go tell them all these and they name them, we don't talk belefulo, say the economic team. That's absolutely rubbish. Go to universities, go to tertiary institutions, pick professors, people who are measured in a certain discipline that has to do with what we are trying to achieve. Assemble them from wherever they are across the nation. Put them in one place from this so and so time to so and so time. I want an economic policy that will work and that is sustainable. Not these ministers that will sit in any condition and tell you, say yes. At the end of the day, nothing. You saw what happened at the Federal House of Representatives. Where a woman believed to be a Labour from Labour Party was challenging the system. And look at the response coming from the speaker. You can see how myopic and nonchalant these people that we call leaders are. And that is why everything is Nigeria 104 years, no light. And Labour is there talking about all these things that are creating more economic burden on Nigerians. And it is high time we stop it. Solve this thing once and for all. They are the one causing, making people to pray that Nigeria should balkanize. This kind of thing makes everybody to be tired. Everybody is tired of Nigeria. Those who are not tired are those who are looting the national treasury. And there are those who will call Dangote and they say they are economic team. What do you expect? In the negotiation table, you see ministers line up, all of them carry paper, carry biro, carry this. At the end of the day, just one formula, they cannot be able to.
Actually, Michael,
You understand?
I think
You understand what I'm saying?
I understand you.
You understand what I'm doing? So this thing is not helpful. It has never helped. Trial and error. Look at how Tinubu himself has destroyed the Nigerian economy. It marvels everybody. Everybody is on money mood. How do we get out of this? We have to wait for another 3 years or thereabout before we will not struggle whether INEC or judiciary will allow us to breathe again.
Mr. Chinedu Michael, I must say a big thank you for your time. This is Nigerian News Center.